What's going on, YouTube? Nate the Great checking in again. Our journey continues today with a leg session. As you can see, we're starting out with squats, our compound movement. And again, we're doing just the bar for a set of 20 reps to get the muscles going, get the blood pumping, and for the most part to get the get that squat form back in action. Because the way my body is built, I have a very long torso, and so squatting has always been a little bit awkward for me. So it's for me, it's always been really good to warm up with just the bar, just to get that form down pat. But then moving back into some real weight, 135 for a easy set of 8 reps, just to warm us up for some heavier weight. You see, I'm making sure that I take control taking time to control the weight and make sure that I'm not dive bombing into it or anything like that, because relying on basically just the reflex of going down and back up is really bad for your joints and overall muscle development in general. So it's always important to make sure that when you squat, you keep control of the weight all the way down and all the way back up. And into our next set, we move into a set of 5 with 175. It's moving pretty easy. Once again, making sure I take the time to control the weight going down and back up. Before we get into some heavier sets of heavy singles. Today the goal was to hit my 1 rep max of 225. I was feeling a little bit of I wouldn't say pain, but just overall tiredness in my lumbar chain. So I decided to go beltless for the 2 single rep sets, first at 205 and then here at 225. And I have to say, this 225 was ugly. It was a grinder and my form was absolutely terrible. You see my knees buckle inward just a little bit, but we made it. With the soreness I was feeling in my lumbar chain, I decided not to go for any further sets of squats and just move straight into my leg press routine. The way I work my leg press is I work with increments of 15, and currently I'm at 4 plates and then 2/3 of a plate, or 30 pounds. Which totals up to 420 pounds. 420 plays it. And I work this for 3 sets of 10. And no matter what my workout is planned for the rest of the workout, no matter how many sets of squats I'm doing or what accessory movements I do, I will always do 3 sets of 10 for whatever my designated weight is on the leg press. And for this last set here, I was obviously pretty fatigued. Oh, look at me, stereotypical millennial on their phone. I was pretty fatigued, and you'll see how it affects me as we get to about maybe the 5 rep range. Because like reps 6 through 10, I have to stop like every other rep and catch my breath, because honestly, my quads were feeling pretty fatigued. See, there's pause number 1, and 2 reps, pause again. This 3rd set was pretty rough in terms of generally how I feel doing leg press. 1 last rep. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Following leg press, I like to go into usually single leg extensions. Today we're doing 50 pounds for sets of 15 per leg. Obviously, I didn't include all of the footage of this in here just because Again, I don't have a lot to talk about in terms of what I'm doing, but in terms of getting that volume in, especially with the inner head of the quadricep, because that tends to get overlooked just a little bit, I like to do a lot of volume. And generally, I'll do volume with single leg to try and keep my legs as even as possible. But moving from the leg extensions, we go into calf raises. And today, on leg days, I would like to do, instead of single leg, I do dual leg, because I do single leg every other day of the week. So sometimes, it's nice to get into that heavier weight. And here I think I'm doing 216 pounds. And then alternating between calf raises and this barbell curler exercise that I don't actually know the name of, but it's like for the first 10 reps, you do only the bottom half of the rep. And then for the next 10 reps, you go and do the top half of the rep. And then for the remaining 10 reps, you do a full rep. And you'll see, even doing just, I think that's like 45 pounds. Once I get to the third part of the set, you see me pause because I have to say this completely blasted my biceps. They were absolutely sore as hell after this. And I'm only recording this like an hour after I recorded this session, and I have to say it was pretty rough. But that's all we got. All the time we have today for this leg session. And I will see you all in the next video.